Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl champion, and maybe one of the most overrated men in sports history. He gave up his wife, he gave up his family, all for one more shot at football glory.
She told Elle magazine that this is a very violent sport and I have my children and I would like for him to be more present. I have my concerns.
And what he's done since? From a messy public feud with Gisele, to bizarre, uncomfortable moments with his own son, to explosive tantrums on the field. Oh, and a roast so brutal it almost made him cry.
Single life is what you deserve because you had no choice.
He might also be one of Hollywood's biggest red flags. This is the other Tom Brady, the one the NFL highlight reels won't show you. And by the end, you might not see him the same way again. Let's break down the dark side of Tom Brady. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button. Let's start with the moment Tom Brady's perfect golden boy image started to crack, his divorce from Gisele Bündchen.
Gisele wanted him to retire, supposedly, early on into his career when he only had 3 rings.
This is from August 15th, 2023. This person says, I know from a solid source the Tom-Gisele breakup wasn't because of cheating on either side. Some sources are saying one thing, some anonymous sources are saying another. I don't think it had to do with cheating. I really don't. I think it had to do with her frustration with him and football.
Now, this wasn't some quiet, we grew apart split. This was messy, because Gisele didn't leave over cheating rumors. She left because Tom chose football over his own family. They had a deal. He'd retire, finally be present as a husband and dad. And for a second, it looked like he meant it. He retired for 40 days.
And the sources say that these two did agree that he would retire to focus on the family, but then he changed his mind. And it's kind of crazy to think like 40 days later into retirement, he's like, you know what, I think I want to go back. He said, I wish I was there more, but I think if I was there too much, they might be sick and tired of me screwing everything up. I'm not sure what that means, Mr. Tom, but I'm pretty sure your kids would probably like to have you there all the time. This comment reads, Tom Brady was never home, but hey, if he thinks that's great parenting, so be it.
Then he changed his mind, grabbed his helmet, and ran straight back to the NFL. Gisele was done. She left their mansion, jetted off to Costa Rica, and publicly said she wanted him to be more present for the kids. Translation? You're never home, Tom. By October 28, 2022, they were both filing divorce papers, and Hollywood insiders said everyone saw it coming. He had 3 Super Bowl rings when she first asked him to retire, but apparently that wasn't enough. He gave up his wife, his marriage, and daily life with his kids for one more season. Tell me that's not the biggest ego move you've ever heard. After the divorce, Tom Brady decided to do a televised roast. And let's just say, Gisele was not laughing. This was supposed to be lighthearted. Celebrities get on stage, throw some jokes, and everyone walks away smiling. But the jokes? They went straight for the jugular. Kevin Hart kicked it off, mocking the fact that Tom traded his wife and kids for a losing NFL season.
You have 7 rings. Well, 8 now that Gisele gave hers back, but
Single life is what you deserve because you had no choice. Gisele gave you an ultimatum. Gisele said, you retire or we're done. That's what she said to you, Tom. And let me tell you something. When you got a chance to go 8 and 9 and all it will cost you is your wife and your kids, you gotta do what the you gotta do. Do you understand me? Gisele.
So Kevin Hart's alluding to the fact that Tom Brady will always pick his career over his family.
Exactly here supporting you tonight, but just for full transparency, she came as Antonio Brown's +1. How does that? That's what you gotta do to maintain your happiness. You understand? You sometimes gotta your coach. You know who else they coach? Gisele. She that karate man. No, listen. What?
When you got the chance to go 8 to 9 and all it'll cost you is your wife and your kids, you gotta do what you gotta do. The crowd laughed, Tom smiled, but you could see it in his eyes.
This comment reads, the guy has tears in his eyes. Nothing come before family, and sometimes people don't realize that until everything collapses and there's nothing left. And nothing can be fixed. Batty on repeat writes, he wanted to cry so bad, oh gosh. Sam writes, Kevin Hart is brutal.
That one stung. Then came Jeff Ross, who decided to make a happy ending joke about Robert Kraft, Tom's NFL boss, while Kraft was sitting in the audience. And Tom, he wasn't having it. He marched up to Jeff mid-show and told him on mic, don't say that sad again.
Would you like a massage?
Oh, Tom, you could already tell. I don't know if you could see that, but in the corner, he's like, oh, already stiffing up.
I love Robert Kraft. I love it. Okay.
When Tom checked Jeff Ross. I think that was 100% real.
I think it got cut from the broadcast.
The reason why I think it's real is because they told us no jokes about happy endings with Bob Kraft. And then Jeff did it, and then Tom walks up and he goes, yo, cut that shit out. Don't do that again. This is the first comic that goes on, a live roast, and it's your night. He was ready to shut the whole thing down.
The room went dead silent for a moment. It wasn't a bit. It wasn't acting. That was pure, real-life tension on a live broadcast, and you could feel it through the screen. And as brutal as the roast was for Tom, it hit even harder at home. He later admitted that the roast hurt his kids, saying it felt like a stake through the heart when he spoke to them the next day.
Do you regret doing the roast of Tom Brady?
I regret that my kids had to, like, it's tough on my kids for sure. And like I said earlier, I don't take myself too serious, so, but I do understand, like, for my kids, that was really hard. And I didn't realize, like, there's some things as a parent you up and you don't realize until after, like, and we're not perfect parents. Like, and you'll see as you grow up, like, there's no perfect manual for it. And like, you got to evaluate yourself as a parent too all the time. So even though I really enjoyed the show and the performances were incredible. And like, when you were in that moment, in that theater that night at the Forum, like, it was electric.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Like, we got done. Everybody was on cloud nine. And I think that moment, I'll never forget, and then I'll never forget when I talked to my kids the next day, and I was like, I felt like, a stake through the heart,
But here's the thing. If that roast rattled him, what happened next in his personal life would have everyone questioning just how far Tom's boundaries go. If the roast had people talking, this next moment, it broke the internet. A clip resurfaced of Tom Brady on a massage table when his then 11-year-old son came in to ask if he could play video games. Tom said yes, but only if his son gave him a kiss. The kid leaned in for a quick peck, but Tom stopped him. That was just a peck. Come back and give me a real one.
No, so what happened was, like, the kid was all like, Dad, can I play Roblox? And Tom Brady's like, yeah, but you're gonna give me a big old kiss in my hot mouth. The kid walked over to Tom Brady, his child, gave him a peck, and he was walking away. And then Tom Brady was like, oh, that wasn't a kiss. God. So then he came over, and he gave him a big old fat fucking lip-on-lip kiss. You know what I mean?
And then the long lip-to-lip kiss. On camera, some fans defended it as harmless affection. Others called it deeply uncomfortable.
This comment reads, why do parents kiss their kids red on lips? Not babies, but legit 5+. Looking at you, Tom Brady. Another person writes, huge Tom Brady fan, huge. But that long kiss with his son was uncomfortable. This guy Seth writes, if Tom Brady was my dad, I would kiss him like that too.
The comment sections exploded, with one person writing, huge Tom Brady fan, but that kiss? Nope. And just when you thought the moment would fade, Tom doubled down by posting more affectionate photos with his son online, the kind that only fueled the debate even more. Here's the thing, for a guy who never likes to be wrong and is obsessed with control, this was a rare crack in the armor, and it had people wondering, maybe all those jokes about him choosing football over family hit a little too close to home. Right after the divorce, the headlines got messy. Rumors exploded that Gisele was secretly hooking up with her jiu-jitsu instructor, Joaquim Valente. She shut it down immediately, calling it a lie, but the internet didn't care. The narrative of supermodel leaves football star for hot martial arts trainer was too juicy to die. And here's where it gets wild. Fast forward to 2025, Gisele and that same jiu-jitsu instructor are together. They've welcomed a baby boy. Was it going on during the marriage? She says no, but the timing, let's just say it's convenient. Meanwhile, Tom's stuck adjusting to shared custody, something he avoided for years by, well, not being home. He admitted the divorce hit the kids hard, saying it felt like a stake through the heart when he spoke to them after the split.
And he's actually opened up about how difficult it's been for him to be a single father.
But if you thought that meant he was slowing down to be dad of the year, nope. Instead, he's been spotted cozying up to Sofia Vergara, rumored to be chasing Sydney Sweeney, and floating around Hollywood like a man on a never-ending victory lap. And then, out of nowhere, Tom decides to take a shot at Gisele in public. A subtle little dig hidden in a letter about parenting, claiming that bedtime stories and homework aren't the only ways to be a great parent. Translation, I'm just as good a parent as you are. It was the ultimate, oh really, moment for fans, and it only made the drama worse. You've heard of NFL scandals, but you've probably never seen one like this. 2022 was the year everything came unglued. His divorce, his career in limbo, and his temper on full display. Mid-game, he's caught slamming tablets so hard they shatter, yelling in teammates' faces like it's life or death. mouth, even getting physical with other players in ways that would have sent most NFL stars straight to suspension. But here's the thing, Tom Brady isn't most NFL stars. One insider put it bluntly, there's no way a black quarterback could get away with the things Tom's done. Zero. The league calls it passion. Other players call it what it is, whining, entitlement, and an ego that doesn't take no for an answer. Even when he was suspended once before, Brady fought it all the way to NFL court until the punishment was wiped away. It's the perfect example of what happens when you've got the rings, the fame, and the name. The rules start bending for you. And now, he's no longer just the GOAT of football. He's a fixture in Hollywood gossip columns, turning up at Bezos' wedding, reportedly annoying SOFIA Vergara, and making plays for some of the biggest names in entertainment. Whether this ends with wedding bells or just another what could have been, one thing's certain, Tom Brady and SOFIA Vergara have the world watching. From yacht-side whispers to pizza night laughs, every sighting turns into headline gold. They're not rushing, they're not oversharing, and maybe that's exactly why the intrigue is off the charts. Love them together or not.
The Daily Mail is at it again, quoting a source saying, quote, he sees Sophia as beautiful and his type, but he isn't going to start a relationship with her as she is older and stuck in her ways. He knows he could only take her in small doses.
Sophia's Colombian heritage is sexy, and hanging out with her and other sexy people on a yacht can be intoxicating. But Tom is not going to bring his work home with him, if you catch my drift.
Racist, ageist, and they elicit a super rare response from Tom's rep, who says, quote, Tom never said, nor would he ever say anything like this. It is pure fiction.
Tom Brady and Sofia Vergara say they're not dating. They're just two single celebrities traveling Europe together on a yacht full of models and Martha Stewart. What's funny is this is exactly how my parents weren't dating in the 80s too.
This is the Hollywood summer fling no one saw coming, and it's far from over. From champion to controversy magnet, Tom Brady's legacy isn't just about touchdowns anymore. It's about the wreckage he left off the field and the uncomfortable question his career leaves behind. When you win enough, do the rules even matter anymore? So, is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time, or just the greatest at getting away with things? From ditching his family for one more season, to roast jokes that cut too deep, to viral moments with his own son that people still can't unsee, Tom's career is a highlight reel, but not always for the right reasons. Some call it passion, some call it ego, others just call it creepy. But now I want to know what you think. Is Tom Brady a misunderstood legend, or has he finally shown us who he really is? Drop your thoughts below. I'll be reading every single one. And if you think this story was wild, wait until you see what he's been doing at Hollywood parties. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one.